The topic today is contact, and I'm going to discuss contacting an opponent. Therefore, both from the defensive end and even the offensive end, contacting an opponent with the hands or the arms. And as you could see immediately, there's a reference to not necessarily a foul. Why? Because the touching of an opponent in itself is not necessarily a foul. In fact, it is then the referees who have to decide whether the player who caused the contact has gained an advantage or not. If there was advantage in favor of the player making contact, then yes, the referee has got to apply the concepts, the RSBQ concepts, rhythm, speed, balance and quickness, and obviously call a foul. But if there was no advantage, the referee could opt for play on. Basically, the main principle is that if the contact caused by a player in any way restricts the movement and the freedom of movement of the opponent, then there must be a foul. In this picture, we are clearly seeing the defender, blue defender, is trying to go for the ball, but in so doing, he is creating illegal body contact against white 10, and that would be a foul. One must also remember the fact that if a player repeatedly touches or jabs an opponent, both with or without a ball, that should lead to a foul, because normally this repeated touching and jabbing an opponent, especially without the ball, but even with the ball, could ultimately result into more rough play. However, we must always recognize the fact that contact can also be made by the offensive player and not always by the defensive player. In the case of the offensive player, any hooking, any wrapping over the arms, any elbow around the defensive player in order to obtain an advantage, or any pushing off so that he creates space for himself. Therefore, in all these instances, if this contact is made by an offensive player, then one should deem an offensive foul. Obviously, we see loads of contacts in the game. Here are some snapshots, definitely clear contacts, where a player is contacting illegally his opponent, as we could see in this snapshot, fouled by number 14 on the dribbler 32 red. Another situation, clearly a foul, possibly also flagrant, but this is a snapshot, so we have to see all the action before we conclude what type of action there was. Other contact, snapshot in a game, contact. Let's now see some specific situations so that you could understand more this principle of contact, how it is applied on the court. Starting off from the left-hand side, we are seeing here the defensive player, white number 5, who is trying to steal the ball, and in trying to steal the ball, this defensive player is extending his arms in front of the dribbler. Now, if the defensive player manages to steal the ball but does not make contact with the dribbler, then that would be legal. However, if the defender causes illegal body contact, even if he is trying to steal the ball, if he makes body contact with the dribbler, then that would be a foul. In this play action, we're going to see Russell Westbrook, who is going to steal the ball cleanly, No foul called. Let's see the action. As you could see here, from the replay also. I will come back to it and rewatch it again. You see the player. So if we go over it again and wait for the replay, here we have Russell Westbrook, who's going to extend his arm, trying to steal the ball. No contact with the dribbler. As you could see, Westbrook touches the ball. There is some contact, but very marginal contact, and the referees correctly deemed this as marginal. Following that, Westbrook manages to tap the ball away and proceeds for an easy 1 versus 0 transition. As you could see here, Westbrook cleanly taps the ball, marginal contact, deemed as marginal by the referees, play on. In this play action, we're going to see now a player trying to steal the ball but committing a foul. Now we'll see the replay. We'll have two opportunities. The player going for the ball. Is this a foul? Let's see the action all over again. Here, the player in yellow is going for the ball. Initially touching the ball. Everything is legal. But then makes contact with the elbow of the blue player. We're going to see here the player in yellow touching the ball and hand on the ball. Till now everything is legal. Following that, as you could see, we have contact on the elbow of blue 14. That contact clearly is not marginal, like the contact we saw before, the example with Russell Westbrook. Here the contact is clearly affecting the play, affecting blue 14. In fact, with that contact, blue 14 loses control of the ball, and that is a foul. Moving towards the right side of the picture, here the dribbler, black 12, is extending his arm when trying to beat his defender, white 15. This extension of the arm, this hooking, is clearly putting the defender in a disadvantage, and therefore a foul should be called against the offensive player. Now we're going to see two different actions relating with hooking by the offensive player, starting off with the first action here. Ball is going to be played in the post. Post player makes his move but is called for an offensive foul. I will see the replay action from another angle. There we are seeing clearly the offensive player hooking his defender. So if we rewatch again the action, the ball is played in the post, defended by the white player. Red player makes a move. From this angle, it's virtually impossible for this referee to see the hooking action. However, both the opposite referee, center referee, and the lead referee on the end line could see the hooking by the red player, and it is correctly called by the lead referee. We'll watch the replay again. There you could see the hooking arm clearly placing the white player, the defender, in a disadvantage, a big advantage for the red player here, as you could see also from that action. And subsequently we have the offensive hooking foul. In the second video action, we're going to see a similar hooking action by the offense.
Has to start the foul, and you're looking at the number 14 free throw shooting team.
White in offense, ball played in the post, arm wrapped around the defender, correctly called by the referee. We'll see in the replay clearly the action by the offensive player. Here we go. There we go. So if we see it all over again, you see the replay. With the ball played down in the post, offensive player starts to make a move. Defender, legal guarding position, defending properly. Offensive player extends his arm, wraps around the defender, hooking action.
You see the hook there to try to gain an advantage.
Referee.
But
some more situations here. An interesting situation. We are seeing the defensive player in white tapping the ball. The white player is tapping the ball from the control of black number 6. If by doing so he accidentally contacts the hand of black number 6, I repeat, if by doing so he accidentally contacts the hand of black 6 while black 6 is holding the ball, as we could see here in this picture, if the white player trying to steal the ball, trying to tap the ball away from black 6 who holds the ball, and whilst trying to tap the ball, he accidentally hits the hand of black 6 holding the ball, in basketball this type of contact is not to be called a foul, because the hand holding the ball is deemed as part of the ball. Here, white number 8, trying to steal the ball, clearly is making contact with the hands of the player in the black uniform, and that would be a foul. Here we have white 9 trying to block the shot being taken by black 15. If white 9 tries to block the ball in black 15's hands, therefore if white 9 blocks the shot and he contacts the hand of the shooter here, as you could see there, the hand that is on the ball, that also in basketball is not a foul. Why? Because this hand holding the ball is deemed as part of the ball. Here I'm talking about tapping the ball away. I want to make it clear that if the action by the defender is violent, aggressive, then everything that I said does not hold, because then the referee could call a foul. But if both in this instance, when the player was trying to tap the ball away, I'm not saying slapping the ball, but tapping the ball away, and in this instance, when the player is trying to block the ball, but not aggressively, okay, not slapping the shooter, but trying to block the ball and accidentally hits the hand of the shooter, that would not be a foul. This play action is going to demonstrate to us exactly what is hand on the ball. Let's see this action. Penetration, contact, what seems like contact on the hand. You could see here. Therefore, we have that contact. If we rerun it, we are seeing the player penetrating, entering there, and having that action. The defender is blocking the ball. Is there a foul? And now from the action here, from this snapshot, we can see that the defender is effectively touching the ball because the shooter's hand on the ball is regarded as being part of the ball, and therefore legally the defender here is blocking the ball, even though effectively he is making contact with the shooter's hand. In essence, in theory, according to the rules, this is legal play because the defender is effectively blocking the ball. So once again, for all of you to rewatch, penetration, contact, referees correctly deemed this as a no-call legal block by the white defensive player. In the second instance, we're going to see what looks like a similar action, but is a foul. Let's see first the action. Player 20 penetrating, contact by Tatum, deemed a foul. Let's see now the replay from behind. First we watch the replay and then I will explain. So if we now watch and look closely at the replay, we are seeing the shooter going up for the shot. Tatum is trying to block the ball. Now everything is legal. Tatum's hand is moving towards touching the hand on the ball. Everything now is still legal. But see what happens now. Tatum's hand goes lower and makes contact not only with the hand on the ball, but also with the wrist of the shooter's hand. And that is not deemed as touching the ball or the hand on the ball, but in fact is touching the shooter's wrist, and that is called a foul, as we're going to see here the whole action all over again. In this diagram we are seeing a shooter, black 12, starting his shot, and a defender, white 11, trying to block the shot. As you could see here, the defender, whilst trying to block the shot, touches the shooter's arm or elbow. Therefore here, the defender is not touching the shooter's hand holding the ball, but touching the arm or the elbow. If the contact occurs before black 12 has shot the ball, therefore the ball has left black 12's hands, for sure this type of contact is going to affect the accuracy of the shot. And in these instances, a foul has to be called.
And it's the right call. You see the arm.
And as you could see there, let's see it again. Gasol going up for the basket. His elbow touched slightly by the defender, but that slight touch clearly clears
That's the right call. You see
the shot, which goes in short. In this scenario, we have again two players. We have black 12 shooting the ball, white 11 trying to block the shot. What do we have in this diagram? In this diagram, we are seeing that white 11 is late in trying to block the shot. The ball has already left the shooter's arm, but here white 11 late in his movement, listen carefully, slightly and accidentally touches the shooter's hand after the ball has left the same hand. If the defender has slightly and accidentally touched the shooter's hand, probably the shot will not be affected, and therefore, since the accuracy of the shot is probably not effective, no foul is to be called. But I hope you listened carefully. I said the defender touches slightly the shooter's hand, because if the defender touches the shooter's arm or elbow even after the shot has been released, probably the accuracy of the shot will be affected, or the player, the shooter, black 12 in this case, will be placed in a disadvantage, and in this case a foul probably needs to be called. Here we have a post player, black player, defender in white, probably this is a post player. The post player is going to receive a lob pass. The post player is going to receive a lob pass in order to get away from his opponent and so be in a better position to receive the ball and possibly even score. What does the post player do? He pushes off his defender, and in this case, obviously, if the defender is pushed off from his position, this has to be a foul on the offensive player in black. Why? Because the offensive player has gained an advantage. In the following short video, we're going to see exactly what I was talking about regarding the illegal pushing off by the post player in order to create space and to receive the pass coming towards him. Let's see first the game action. Here we are seeing the post player pushing off his defender, white 0. In the replay, we're going to see it much more clear. Pushing off by the offensive player in order to receive the ball. Let's review it again in normal speed and then with slow motion, the pass coming over. And now with slow motion, we see Westbrook seeking the pass towards the post player in the key. The lob pass is coming over and we have the post player pushing off white 0 in order to create space for him to receive the ball. The ball does arrive in his hand, but obviously this is an offensive pushing foul. Here we have a common situation on the basketball court. A dribbler, black 6, dribbling the ball. Defender is defending but also placing an arm on the same dribbler. In fact, this is a common situation we unfortunately witness a lot of time on the court when players frequently touch an opponent while they are moving on the playing court. In a sense, this touching of your opponent, there is no justification in fact for such contact, and one has to be careful to try and avoid having this being done repeatedly on the court, and referees should immediately try to prevent this touching of opponents by warning players to get their hands off their opponents. If after warning this touching continues, or if the touching clearly restricts the freedom of movement of the opponent, the referee has no other option but to call a foul. The action of repeatedly touching and jabbing an opponent could be seen clearly in the following game action. The the player in black proceeding to the right hand side of the court, the defender placing his arms a number of times on the same player, the offensive player swiping their hands away until finally the center referee makes the correct call despite the protest of the defender white 5, who's saying he is innocent in this play. But as we're going to see in this play, white 5 is placing the arms a number of times on the offensive player, with the offensive player also swiping the hands away every single time. Let's review again this game time mode. The dribbler stopping, defender placing his arms once, twice, thrice. Each time the offensive player swiping the hand away, the hand is restricting the movement of the dribbler, as we're going to see also in the replay action. Once again, the hander playing play, the offensive player swiping the hand away, defender places his left arm on the dribbler's hip. Again, the offensive player swipes the hand 4 times until finally we have the goal. In the following examples, we're going to see some illegal action done by the offensive players who are going for a shot. Sometimes a player shooting a layup or a jump shot extends his non-shooting arm to protect the ball and to prevent the defensive player from blocking his shot, as we could see clearly in this diagram. Here we can see that the defender is jumping in his cylinder, he's jumping vertically in this cylinder, but the offensive player is extending his non-shooting arm to prevent the defender from reaching towards the ball and maybe even blocking the shot. If the shooter, black 6 in this case, causes contact by extending his arm into the defender's cylinder, then an offensive foul may be called against him. I'm not saying must always, but the referee has got to judge the action. If an advantage has been a big advantage has been taken, then an offensive foul has to be called against black 6. In the next diagram on the right hand side of your screen, we are seeing the offensive player, again black 6, who is attempting a layup, and while initiating contact, what does he do? Okay, he extends his arm inside the defender's vertical cylinder, clearly creating more space for himself. Of course, the defender cannot be called for a foul, he cannot be punished, because after all he was playing legal defense. So in such cases, as we are seeing here, if the shooter, as we say, clears out the defender, a foul has to be called on the offensive player. In order to explain exactly what I was talking about regarding the offensive player clearing out space, we see this video.
Instead they trail by 3. Sumu will attack again, flips it, Katic.
Yellow 14 scores but has his basket disallowed. He does not believe the call, but as we're going to see via the replay, Yellow 14 is clearly using his left arm to clear out the defender. Let's see it all over again.
They trail by 3. Sumu will attack again, flips it, Katic.
There it is, correctly called by the trade referee in this case.
And it just moved Cabra out the way. What's your left arm?
Let's see exactly. See his left arm here. His right arm is shooting the ball. His left arm is moving towards the defender's left arm. The defender jumping vertically up. And now you see his left arm, as you could see, clearly moving the defender's arms away, thereby not allowing the defender any chance to block the shot. Obviously, a clear advantage by the yellow 14 offensive player.
There you see.
As you could see there, the defender's arm is clearly moved away, therefore that's an offensive foul.
Moves out.
And to see it all over again for the last time.
Instead they trail by 3. Sumu will attack
pass
again.
inside.
Flips it. Katic.
Basket
Offensive
of the
foul.
glass, but
So
the basket is
Katic led with
disallowed
the left arm.
despite the player
And it just moved
protesting.
Cabber
And
out
the
the way. Watch the
replay
left
shows
arm.
exactly
There you
the
see. Just
principle
moves
I was
out.
talking
Cabber,
about in the
who's
last
entitled
seconds.
to take up that space.
This video relating with the illegal use and clearing out by the offensive player during the shot leads me to the end of this video, which dealt with the contact situations and certain contact actions in the game of basketball. I hope that you found this video interesting, and above all, I hope that you gained more insight as regards the same contact situations. I hope you will join me again in the future for other videos relating with other basketball actions. Till next time, cheers.